Chapter 2. Ivy. A familiar tweed suit passes by the print room while I'm standing over the copier. I immediately abandon my task and race after him. "Oh, Jack! I didn't realize you were in the office. Wait up!" I hate that I have to scramble after him, in heels no less, but the bastard's not slowing down an iota. I hobble after him on the marble floors of the Three Jacks Real Estate swanky office, hoping I don't fall on my ass and make a fool of myself in front of the others. When Jack doesn't stop, I have to speed up just to catch him. "Jack!" He finally stops, right at the front of the doors of the office, and frowns at me like I'm an annoying puppy.
"What is it, Ivy? I'm on my way out the door, as you can see."
He gestures at the large glass double doors like I'm an idiot.
"Let's make this fast."
"Of course." I put on my fake, cheeriest realtor smile. "I was just going to say that my day is clear, and I know LaDonna had that big house on Forsyth that was scheduled to have a showing. I've made flyers. Well, actually, they're on the copier right now, and I can go handle things, maybe pass out a few cards." He narrows his eyes at me.
"Is LaDonna out?"
She's having an emergency appendectomy. Remember?" I bite my lip as he continues to look blank. "It was emailed out to everyone?"
"Mm-hmm."
The look on his face tells me he didn't read it, or doesn't care. "So I thought I'd pitch in and help with her listing for today. It's a really great house, and I've researched the neighborhood, and I can chat with some prospective buyers, and—" His lips purse, and he holds up a finger.
"The house is on Forsyth?"
"Yes."
"In the Twin Oaks development?"
I nod. It's the hottest area in the suburbs at the moment, and there's a waiting list for properties. This one's a little pricey, but I also know it'll fly off the market within days. It's such a big opportunity.
"How much is the list price?"
There's a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach, but I ignore it. I have to. I'm this far in. "It's listed as $1.1 million. Jack pulls out his phone and starts to type.
"Street address?"
I give it to him.
"Great. I'll take care of it."
"Oh," I say, fighting the crushing disappointment I'm feeling. "But I can do it, really. I've done comps, and I've got flyers ready, and—"
"Now, Ivy, you said it's $1 million house, right? It's been a lean month for the company, and we need to make sure we land all the commissions we can."
His tone goes condescending.
"And I just don't know that you're the right person to take on such a big task."
"I can absolutely do it, Jack."
"Now, if I wanted an ice cream cone, you'd be the first one I'd call."
He winks at me, the jerk. Winks. Like it's a funny joke.
"But for $1 million listing, let's make sure someone with a lot more experience handles it, all right? Oh, and I'll take those flyers, too."
He gives me a "I'm the man around here" look.
"And can you grab me a coffee while you're in the copy room?" "Super. I'll wait right here."
He winks.
"Make it snappy. I've got an open house to handle."
"Right. Sure." I force a smile to my face and turn on my heel, heading back toward the copy room to retrieve the flyers I've been working on all morning. It's not fair. It's so not fair. Every time something decent even comes close to landing in my lap, one of my bosses is there to snatch it away again. I'm stewing as I snatch the stack of copies from the machine and tuck them under my arm, then head to the coffee maker. Get him a coffee while I'm at it? Like I'm his freaking secretary? But he's also the boss, so I'm stuck. I eye the 2 coffee pots on the burner. One's nothing but dregs, and the other's a fresh pot. I grab a paper cup, tip the dregs into the cup, and then march back out the door and hand Jack the flyers about the house I know I could sell today, if I was given the chance. He gives me another wink as he turns to go.
"Thanks for the tip, Ivy. Good work."
I watch him leave, my fists clenched. I'm stewing with helpless frustration. thwarted yet again. Thanks for the tip. Like it was a freaking tip. That was my hours of hard work. That was my opportunity that he snatched away. And if I keep thinking about it, I'm going to puke with anger. So I take a deep breath, smooth a hand down the front of my suit, and calmly walk back to my desk in the back of the office, tucked near the bathrooms. A client is strolling out of the men's room, and I keep a poised smile on my face. I'm composed until I sit down and put my hands on my keyboard. Calm. Rational. The moment the client disappears, I bury my face in my hands. "Uh-oh," Farah says from her desk across the way. "What happened? You were on cloud 9 10 minutes ago. Did something happen to LaDonna?" I take a deep breath and lift my head to look over at my friend. "Jack happened." She wrinkles her nose. "Dumb Jack, Jack, or Winky Jack?" "Winky Jack," I say miserably. "He stole that open house from me and said he'd handle it. What could I do?" "Tell him no?" Farah raises one dark brow at me. "Tell him to do his own work instead of stealing yours?" "He's the boss," I tell Farah with a sigh. "I like being employed." "I don't see how," she says dryly, pulling out a stack of folders on her desk and flipping through them. "They don't leave you enough clients to make a living." "Oh, they do," I say glumly and cross my arms, staring at my laptop. The screen still has a dozen comp listings pulled up from this morning's work, all gone to waste. They leave me with all the clients with bad credit and no money. You need to buy a house with nothing down and a spending limit of 50 grand? Go talk to Ivy. She snorts. That's all she can do, because we both know I'm not wrong. Farah's been with 3 Jacks for 10 years. No clue why she stays. Me, I've been here for 1, and a lot of the time I feel lucky to have that 1. They hired me, fresh off the streets after I got my realtor license, and I didn't have a lick of experience to my name. I was working at an ice cream shop prior to 3 Jacks, something that the bosses like to remind me about all the time. 3 Jacks is a boys' club. I knew it was when I got hired. It's run by Jack Farrington, Dumb Jack, who's older than the hills and has a silver spoon in his mouth, Jack Jackson, who's a snake oil salesman if there ever was one, and Jack Richards, Winky Jack, who thinks women aren't born with 2 brain cells to rub together, and he'll have to rescue us from ourselves. They're nice enough as far as bosses go, I suppose. After all, they did give me a job. I make 0.5% on any house I sell. That means on a regular 3% agency commission, they get the other 2.5%, and I get what's left after expenses. If I sell a house that's 100 grand, I get $500, and the company walks away with the other 2,500. Jack, Dumb Jack, told me that I could promote my commission amount once I've earned $2 million in sales for the company. Given that the only clients I get handed to me are dirt poor and can't land a mortgage, it's been an exercise in frustration, but I'm determined not to give up. Ivy Smithfield is going to get a better life for herself and her sister, even if she has to climb uphill both ways, I vow. I may not have the experience or the pedigree, but I've got determination. With that mental pep talk, I feel a little better. I'm going to do this. So I'm still $700K away from getting that pay increase. It's doable. I just need to hustle, and hustle hard. I've got this. I do. I'll just have to find some new leads, I announced to Farah. It's a minor setback, but it's not a deal breaker. Whatever, Farah says, giving me side eye. You know it's okay to be pissed, right? I'm not pissed, I reply, pulling up local housing forums to scan them for potential clients, just like I do every day. My mama always said, fake it until you make it, and I'm getting to be a real pro at faking it. Sometimes I even almost believe myself. Minor setback. I'll just have to work on some other leads. Mm-hmm. She curls her lip. At least they put you on the flyer. Dumb Jack told me I was too Mexican-looking. I glanced over at her. I thought you were Persian. I am. I wince. Well, he's called Dumb Jack for a reason. Ouch. Besides, you know they only put me on the flyer because they had to have a girl on there. Oh, I know. Said they didn't want to appear sexist. She puts her fingers in the air and makes a set of quotes. Appear. I mean, they are sexist. They just don't want to look it. I smile wanly at her. They may be sexist, but they're also the bosses, and I can't do much about it. To make things worse, Winky Jack also handles the human resources for the company, so it's not like I can go complain about his buddies. Or himself. I just need to work harder. Once I've climbed a few rungs in the ladder, I'll make good money, and I'll have so many clients I won't be stuck here in the office twiddling my thumbs. And if at that point I'm still not making good money, I'll at least have enough experience under my belt to go somewhere else, or hang my own shingle and get the full 3% commission. It's a nice dream. It also won't become a reality unless I hustle. I look over at the picture on the corner of my desk. It's recent, a picture of my little sister Winona in her cap and gown at graduation. My arms are around her, and our faces are pressed close together. She's so happy, so excited to take on the world, so eager to get out there. It's for her that I'm doing all this. So I pull up the forums, put my hands on the keyboard, and go back to work trying to drum up clients online. It's getting late in the day when I get a call from my sister on my brand new iPhone. I had to get it because my flip phone and printed maps were making some of the clients look at me funny. Problem is, I can't figure out how the whole smartphone works, so I swipe the wrong buttons and end up missing the call. Farah just snorts and rolls her eyes, like I'm the world's biggest goober. Maybe I am, but I could never afford a smartphone until now. Actually, I still can't, but I'm forking out extra money so I look legit to my clients. Plus, okay, the mapping application is pretty awesome. A text comes in a moment later, shaking my phone. Winona. You there, Reba? Ivy. I am, and remember, I'm Ivy now. Winona. Oh, God. Whatever. Winona. I don't have time for this crap. Well, she'd better make time. Ivy's my real name now. I had it changed legally. Reba sounded like a redneck cliché, and when my teacher at my realtor class suggested that I go by a less polarizingly southern name, I jumped at the chance. I've been Ivy to everyone else for the last 2 years, but to my sister, I guess I'll always be Reba Lee Smithfield. Winona. I have a flat. Gonna be late getting home. Ivy. Are you okay? Winona. Rim's bent, I think. We got the money for that? I wince. We don't. We don't even have the money for the insurance for Winona's little 1992 Civic, but I'm trying to make it work. I type slowly, since my fingers feel too big and clumsy for the tiny smartphone screen. Ivy. I'll figure it out. Are you pulled over somewhere safe? Winona. I'm fine. A friend is coming to pick me up, but the car's on the side of the highway. You want me to wait for a tow truck? Ivy. No, those cost too much. I'll leave work and see if I can change the spare for you. Maybe it's not as bad as we think. Winona. Okay, just text me when you get there. I'm sorry. Ivy. Don't be sorry. The tires were old. We knew they would go soon. I'll handle it. Winona. 'Kay, don't work too late. Friend is taking me to a used bookstore so I can see if any of my college texts are there. Maybe I can get them cheap. Ivy. Smart thinking. XO. Winona. XO to you too. I put the phone down and resist the urge to bury my head in my hands. car repairs, the last thing I can think about right now. Winona needs her car to go to college, and I need to finish scraping together some money for her tuition. If it's just a flat tire, we can eat ramen for a week or two and scrape by. If it's more than that, well, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I'm just glad my little sister wasn't hurt. Of course, this means I really need to get some leads. Shoot. I might take a clipboard to the mall and pretend to do a survey, also I can pass out some cards. It's desperate, but heck, I am desperate at this point, and the jacks keep stealing all my good leads. After that, I might stop by the library and the gym and pin a few cards to corkboards. Something will pay off eventually, if I just put enough work into it. Well, no time like the present to get started. I gather my things, stuffing my folders and then my laptop into my shoulder bag. No rest for the wicked, and I'm going to put in a long night trying to drum up leads. I might even try Facebook ads and Craigslist if that's what it takes. All I need to do is sell one house in the next 30 days, and I can pay for Winona's tuition. If I can get someone in escrow, I can ask for an advance until payday. I have options. I just need to get someone in the door. I'm sure I can seal the deal if that happens. I rush out the back of the office and into the lobby, only to see Winky Jack heading back in. He's got a coffee in hand and his sunglasses on. I smile at him as I pass by. He stops and points at me. "Ivy!" I halt, but inwardly I'm torn between snarling at him and just wishing I could race out the door. Instead, I keep a warm smile on my face and try to pretend that someone just stuck gum to the back of his expensive suit. "Hi, Jack. How did the open house go?" "Fantastic. Got one or two couples that are very interested." One of his cheeks twitches, and I realize he's probably winking at me from behind his sunglasses. Eesh. "It was a great lead. Thanks for sending it in my direction." "But I didn't," I want to snap. "You stole it." "Of course." He sips his coffee, ignoring the fact that I was trying to leave. "You said you had some comps, right? Mind emailing me those?" "Sure." I gesture at the door. It's getting harder to smile by the second, but somehow I manage. "Listen, I have to go." At that moment, a man pushes open the glass double doors and walks into the lobby. He's wearing a dirty trucker cap, an equally dirty t-shirt, jeans, and work boots. He's got an enormous, bushy beard covering most of his face, and glances around the building, thick brows drawn down as if he disapproves of everything he sees. The receptionist gives him a blank look, and then her lips twitch with a smirk. She glances over at me and Jack as if to say, "Can you believe this guy?" Then over at the client. "Can I help you, sir?" He saunters forward with a cocky swagger, stuffing his hands in his pockets.
"Wanted to talk to someone about a house."
He's got a thick Texas accent that tells me he's from a small town and not a big city. They drawl more out east and west. I know because it took me 13 CDs of self-guided voice coaching to try to ditch my own accent. The receptionist looks over at me and Jack. Jack takes another sip of his coffee.
"Looks like this one's yours, Ivy."
I'm torn. On one hand, I need sales. On the other hand, this guy doesn't look like he has 2 nickels to rub together. That's why he's mine. Jack can't be bothered unless it's $1 million sale. I smother the stab of resentment I feel. "I do need to go." But Jack's already turning and walking away. That jerk. Grr. It's not the client's fault for having bad timing, though. It'd be rude for me to take my frustrations out on him. So I look over at the man with the beard and give him a smile, offering my hand. "All right, then. I said I wanted a sale, and fate is providing." "Hi there. I'm Ivy Smithfield." And my voice dies off, because he's leaning against the receptionist's counter, dripping red dirt from his hat and shirt, and devouring me with his eyes. I've heard that expression before, but I've never experienced it. I've never felt like anyone was pulling my clothing from my body with their freaking gaze and eye-fucking me. Until now. Goodness. I'm flustered and don't know what to think.